Hello YouTube! I'm gonna spend the next 10 minutes talking about forks. Forks. Yes, that's right. Forks. Now this fork that I happen to be holding is made of plastic. Forks, I know not most forks come in plastic. I think the majority of forks are not. There are metal forks, and, but those ones you have to wash. And then the plastic forks you can just kind of throw away. So, like, a lot of people like plastic forks, and then they're made in bulk because they're cheaper. And when you have a lot of, sometimes you need a lot of forks for like family picnic, and that's why you make forks that are plastic. I don't know if they have gold forks. I've heard of gold chopsticks, but I've never seen a gold fork. Um, yeah. So, like, I have, like, three different forks here to show you right now. These are of the metal variety, and as you can see, they have different patterns on them. Okay? These are different patterns. This has, like, three lines, and then this at the top, and then this one is like that, and this one just has this right here. And so, like, and then also on the back of them, this one's made in China. This one is made in also China. And then I'm just gonna, it doesn't say, but I'm gonna assume this is in China too. So, like most forks, I suppose, in the US, come from China. Just like everything. So, most metal forks are made of the stainless steels. And I have for you another fork. The standard fork is like, you can see they're all kind of the same size here. But like, this is different. This is like, these are bigger. This is bigger than this one, by a little bit. And I guess it has some sort of advantage to it. But this is also thinner, and it's more comfortable in the hand to just hold a fork like this. So, like, I like this fork a lot. Scrumptious. But, like, it's also kind of like bowl shaped on the front. And this is made in Japan. I like this one. So, like, you might be wondering, well, what is a fork exactly? Well, I'm going to help you just discover, like, the answer to that. Now, what I have here is what looks like, kind of like a plastic fork, but it's not, and you can tell, this is what we call this. This is called a spoon, and you can tell it's not a fork, because if you look closely, the fork has, like, the holes and it has like different spiky things on the tip of it. The spoon doesn't. The spoon is just like flat all around, and that's what makes the spoon different. Normally you eat, like, I think probably soup with a spoon. If you tried to eat if you tried to eat like water or like liquid with a fork, like soup, the wire would just go right through, and so you need a spoon. But if you have something like salad, you want to eat salad or chicken with like a fork, because a fork has the things in it. So that's how you can tell. That's a dead giveaway that something is not a fork, because a fork will always have these prongs on it. Now, you look at this. I'll just give you this for example. This is also, it's kind of a fork, but it's not. This is something, because you might be confused. If you see this somewhere, you think, oh, is it a fork? Because I need a fork. What do? I don't know if this is a fork. It's got a thing on the end. And like a knife tip thing. By the way, that's what this is. A knife. A knife is something different. We might go into this later. I don't want to make things too complicated for us. But anyways, let's see. Hold on. Okay. So like, okay. So like, this is they would call this one a spork or a knife or something. Because what it is it's a fork and a spoon. So you see, it's got like the spoon. It's got like that kind of thing going on over here. But then also, if you have a it's got like a fork thing at the end. So this isn't exactly a fork, although this part of it over here is a kind of like a fork. Hold on one second. So like as I was saying, this is like it's like a fork and a spoon, and even on this one it's also a knife. So like I guess you could call this part a fork part, but it's not a whole fork, because as you see, a fork usually has like a whole handle. So this is more of a spork is what we call this. So don't get confused. And so if you want to call something a fork, that's another dead giveaway. It has to be exclusively the 4 prongs on there, and then nothing else. Yeah. So, like, there is no size limit to what a fork can be. I can show you right here. This is like a tiny fork. It can fit on my face like that. It's like a baby-sized fork. So like this is normal, and this is like little fork. Yeah. So like, but you can still tell it's a fork because it's not a spoon, and you can still, I guess, eat with it. So like, I have this thing here, and I don't know if this is a fork exactly. I mean, it kind of. Well, this isn't a fork, and I'll tell you why. Because if you notice, a fork has only 4 of these spiky things. This has about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and if you'll notice the ends, they're not even that spiky. So like if you look, like usually, like they're not as spiky. So I think if you wanted to eat like a salad, it would be kind of difficult to eat with this. But maybe actually, because maybe you could if you. So maybe this is a fork, but I don't know what it is, even though it's probably also made in China. But also, there's this thing. Now, I think what you might use this for is to like this might be a bigger animal fork. So like if you wanted to like feed a like panda bear with like bamboo, you might take something like this and then feed it. And also this one is more spiky on the end too than even most forks, I think. So I don't know, but this also, it has a weird contraption button thing here. So I don't know what that's about. But I don't think this is a fork, and I don't think this is a fork, but I guess they could be. Now, something else I just want to make clear. Sometimes it can be like, like I think I may have maybe said to you, hard to understand what is and isn't a fork. I've seen, and you might see these around the house. This is not a fork. This is, I think, a skizzer. And skizzer, or as I like to call them, cutting sticks. What they do is these have a different, like if you take like paper, right? Like I have paper here. You can cut things like that. And it's really cool and sharp. And these these, I guess you could say these are kind of like knives, but you don't use them as knives. and they're not fork, because even though they do have and you could probably pick up food and they won't work because they don't have the same handle, and they don't have the four things on the end. So if you see these, don't think they're a fork. Don't be fooled, because they're probably not. So like that's all I have to say. Like goodbye, forks.